Okay, so in this particular video, we will summarize the oxidation and reduction reactions, which are collectively known as the redox reactions. Okay, so the term redox, जो है ना, the term redox means reduction and oxidation. Uh, reduction, okay, Azlan, what is reduction? What are the 4 points for reduction?
It's the addition of oxygen and loss of electrons.
No, reduction, not oxidation. How
Oh,
can
it's removal of oxygen and gaining
Hmm,
electrons.
exactly? Okay, so the removal of oxygen, the gain of electrons. So I'll just write it down here. So we'll just zoom in. Okay, so when we zoom in here, okay. So redox में reduction जो है ना उसमें I'll just use a green color. Okay, so gain of electrons. Okay, a gain of electrons, right? Okay, a gain of electrons. Uh, loss of oxygen. Okay, I'll just write O2. Sorry. A loss of oxygen, gain of hydrogen, okay, and an in and a decrease in the oxidation state, okay, decrease in oxidation state, okay, I'll write ST, decrease in oxidation state or a decrease in charge, okay, over a simple ionic compound. It's the same thing. Oxidation state and charge are the same thing when you talk about ionic compounds. So this all qualifies, all of these 4 points, they all qualify as reduction. Okay. If you talk about oxidation, yeah, to I think clear this up. If you talk about oxidation, what is oxidation? Oxidation is exactly opposite. So reduction where there was a gain of electrons, in oxidation we will lose electrons. So a loss of electrons, a gain in oxygen, it's pretty common sense, straightforward here. Oxidation is there's a gain in oxygen, there's a loss of hydrogen, right? And there is an increase in the oxidation state. And by increase, I mean the oxidation state becomes more positive. So yeah, right? People were confusing. Okay, for example, if the oxidation state of any element changes from, let's say, -2 to, let's say, -5. So yeah, is this an increase or decrease? It changes from -2 to -5.
Decrease.
It's a decrease, okay? Because यहाँ पर this number is more negative than this number, okay? So this is not an increase, okay? This is a decrease in the oxygen state. And right here you can see that a reduction is occurring. So yeah. But what if the oxidation states change from -2, let's say, to 0? What is this? Is this oxidation or reduction?
Reduction.
How?
Oxidation.
Oxidation, okay? It's oxidation. See, this is a more negative number. 0 is relatively a less negative number. So the oxidation state is becoming more positive. So it's oxidation, right? Because earlier, if you look at it this way, let's see. If you look at it this way, earlier this particular element had two more electrons, okay? And then after the chemical reaction, it lost those two electrons. So loss of electron is oxidation. सही है समझ आया इस बात so -2 से 0 जा रही that means there is an increase in the oxidation number and that's oxidation. So this was the basic concept that we studied yesterday, right? In any chemical reaction, in any redox reaction, there is uh, a reducing agent and then there is an oxidizing agent. सही है अच्छा अब जो reducing agent है ना सही है reducing agent का मतलब ये है कि that agent will reduce the other element, right? So what should it do to reduce the other element? Should it give it electrons or should it strip away the electrons from that element? रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट जो है उसको क्या इलेक्ट्रॉन्स दूसरे एलिमेंट से लेने चाहिए या फिर उसको देने चाहिए इलेक्ट्रॉन्स? अजान, रफील।
जी।
A reducing agent, should it give electrons to the other element या उसको gain करने चाहिए electrons reducing agent को?
वो गेन करेगा।
No. See,
अगर
reducing
वो
agent
गेन
जो है ना,
करेगा तो उसमें
जो
माइनस
reducing,
की वैल्यू इंक्रीज होगी ना।
नहीं नहीं, जो अब देखो यहाँ पर दिस इज द सेकंड सेगमेंट ऑफ आवर redox reaction, दिस इज द सेकंड कॉन्सेप्ट reducing agent and oxidizing agent का। ठीक है, अब reducing agent का मतलब ये है कि this particular element will reduce the other element, right? For example, we have an element A and we have an element B, right? If an element A during the chemical reaction donates its electrons to B, right? So it basically reduced B because B gained electrons. So B is now reduced, but since A lost electrons to B, it is what? It is oxidized now. ठीक है, अब ये oxidize हो चुका है. So the reducing agent, so A in this case, in this particular case, A is the reducing agent because it lost those electrons to B and it reduced B. So yeah. So we can also say that a reducing agent gets oxidized itself. Okay, it loses electrons, so it gets oxidized, right? Similarly, for oxidizing agent strips away the electrons. It takes away others' electrons, right? So if it will take away the others' electrons, so it will gain electrons, right? And because it gains electrons, it is reduced. So if you talk about reducing agents and oxidizing agents, so oxidizing agents themselves, they are reduced during the chemical reaction because they took away those electrons from another element, right? So they are reduced during the chemical reaction. But जो reducing agents होते हैं, they are oxidized during chemical reaction. ठीक है? And yeah, that's the concept of reducing agents and oxidizing agents.